Hello, everybody. It is myself and Comics here with another indie interview. Today we have Blake McCarthy, writer and creator of Territory, the Kaiju comic book.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to talk about Territory.
Oh, and I just finished issues up to 3 today, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? I can't wait.
Oh, perfect. That's what we were going for. And I definitely think 3 was the issue that even writing it, I was like, if people aren't hooked yet, if they make it this far, they will definitely be hooked. So,
And I'm guessing you're a lover of kaijus.
yes. How did you guess? But no, totally. That's actually when I was starting to think about sort of what kind of story I wanted to tell. The only thing I knew at first was that I wanted to tell a kaiju story, and so Territory is born from my love of kaiju, and it just sort of grew out of that. But that's the central first idea where it all came from.
Nice. So, how did your love of kaiju start?
I think as a kid, I watched a lot of Godzilla movies. My parents had my dad was kind of into it, and he had some of the Heisei or Heisei, however you say it, sort of the like 80s, 90s era ones. And so just growing up, I always thought Godzilla was really cool. And then it's been really cool in the last, I don't know, 10 or so years. It seems like there's just been a lot more kaiju media that's become accessible, especially here in the States. And so it was something that kind of started young, and as it's gotten more and more accessible, and I've gotten more and more into it, and now it's definitely like that's one of the main things I look for when I'm looking to read or watch something.
Especially with the new Godzilla movie coming out soon, -1.
Yes,
Love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, they kept the original Godzilla look, but it's revamped in a way, like no costume. And I'm like, interesting.
definitely. And I was a really, really big fan of Shin Godzilla. I thought that was an awesome, it was cool to see a new Japanese Godzilla after so long. And then the way they really made that one terrifying and sort of brutal and naturalistic, which was, kind of what Godzilla originally was. And now -1 looks like, a different take on it, but similar themes with, because for so long he was almost a good guy, a hero, and it's cool kind of going back to that more sort of natural force of nature that he was originally created as.
Right. I totally agree. And yes, you're here. It's been forever, villainous Queen of Hearts. She's finally awake. She's always napping during this time. It's hilarious. And yes, it is kind of a bear, but it's actually a kaiju. I love
Yes.
kaijus. Are we allowed to play the trailer or the
Yeah,
video?
absolutely. Go for it.
Boop. Ah, it was so simple but so good.
Well, that's good. That was it's a friend that has done the trailers for all of the issues so far, and yeah, he's an amazing direct. I mean, he films a lot of
Producer?
stuff too, but he just editing everything and putting these videos together. All of the trailers have been really cool, and it's been fun to work with him and get to just make trailers. As a big fan of movies, and especially monster movies, getting to sort of think about what I love about those trailers and try to make my own has been really fun.
It's like kudos to him. Give him my kudos. Yes, hit that like button or it'll put snakes in your car. Oh gosh, you don't want snakes in your car. Yes, I'm sorry. You do sleep. Sleeping is important, guys. Just so you know. All right. Territory is a 22-page post-apocalyptic kaiju story set in a far-distant Pacific Northwest of the United States. Ancestors tell the story of how civilization was wiped from the earth in nuclear fire long ago. From the ashes of the destruction rose the behemoths, giant creatures whose presence breathes life back into the land. The surviving people now live in tribes, worshipping the behemoths as gods. Boom, boom, boom. And of course, this is going to be there are going to be backup tiers because this is for issue 4, but we'll have issues 1 through 3 available, which I have because I'm just, I'm cool like that, of course.
Yeah,
And so to
thank you
pick
for your
up,
support.
how about we have you do a summary for the issues?
Definitely. So issue 1 is sort of our introduction to the world. So the story, the main character, her name is Alkia. And so, yeah, so the idea is that this is set in a far distant post-apocalyptic future. Some sort of nuclear type event happened, and basically most of humanity was wiped out. And then these behemoths, which are the kaiju of the book, these massive creatures, sort of rose up out of the ashes. And their presence, they have this sort of almost mystical like ability to sort of restore nature to the world and sort of bring life back into this ruined world. And so the surviving people live in tribes now, and they worship these behemoths as their gods. So the Great Horn, which is this one you see behind me, it's the big bear kaiju, sort of the main kaiju for the book. So Alkia is the main character. She's a hunter. She lives in a tribe that worships this Great Horn. And in the first issue, we see her and her friend Nebo, who's also in the same tribe. And they're out hunting when all of a sudden they encounter the Great Horn for the first time. And it's the first time in a generation that it's been seen. And it's sort of seen as this, holy event that they've actually got to see it. And they're very excited. Alkia is very zealous about her faith. She's a big believer in the tribe's sort of religion about these kaiju. And Nebo is more cynical. He sees it as, he sees it from a more practical point of view of this is a big monster that could kill us and we need to be careful with it. And so that's one of the central themes of the book is sort of challenge when your beliefs are challenged and when your faith is challenged, how do people react? And so trying to have characters with different perspectives on that. And so when they see this Great Horn for the first time, the tribe ends up celebrating. You see Falric, who's sort of he's called the healer, but he's kind of the priest, the leader of the tribe. He's the leader of the religion, and he's kind of training Alkia to be the next sort of religious leader. And so at the end of issue 1, they're celebrating seeing the Great Horn, and so they decide they're going to take a pilgrimage, which is what issue 2 is about. So in issue 2, they head out to the site where the Great Horn battled another kaiju called Aquamassis, which is sort of this giant frog, crab, aquatic sort of kaiju. And they tell the story of the Great Horn defeating the Aquamassis and sort of how that secured its place as sort of the dominant behemoth, the dominant god in their religion, essentially. And then when they come back in issue 3, they find that their village has been destroyed, and we meet the newest kaiju called the Model Ishiki, which is sort of a desert-based kaiju. It's kind of serpentine, scorpion-like, and the Great Horn and the Model Ishiki battle it out in issue 3. And that's also where we start to we meet another tribe, and that's kind of now we'll get, not only have we had the kaiju conflict, but we're going to start to get into some of the more human conflict as well.
Yes, I'm just kind of super hyped about that. I was like, what? That's the last page. No.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like issue 3, if the first 2 issues, we tried to incorporate a lot of action in those ones, but issue 3 is where I feel the series really starts to ramp up, and all of the themes that we've kind of introduced and started to touch on, issue 3 really starts to go into them, and then it will just, kind of go full steam ahead from here on out for these last 2 issues.
And honestly, what's that guy's name? Glant?
Yes.
Poor guy. I was like, yeah, no, well, don't worry. We'll come back. We'll come back. No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he
Oh, no.
poor guy never had a chance.
I was wondering, how did you get the inspiration to design the kaijus that appear in the comics?
So the kind of kaiju I wanted to have was I wanted them to be very naturalistic. Like I said, I really like that force of nature aspect of kaijus, and especially with them as sort of the gods of this world. I wanted them to feel like people kind of going back to worshiping and respecting nature. And so the kaijus are supposed to be sort of nature dialed all the way up to where we've pushed too far. We sort of destroyed the world, and their nature's way of fighting back. And so each kaiju is inspired by the wildlife in a particular region. So the great horn is inspired by the Pacific Northwest. So you've got, the bear, the elk, the deer sort of influence. Aquamassis is aquatic creatures because it's a water-based one. So you get, the frog, the crab, some more aquatic based. And then the model Ishiki, the newest one, is a desert-based one because in the story, the tribe that worships the model Ishiki is kind of come up from the south from a desert environment. And so you have desert creatures, kind of rattlesnake, scorpion type influence.
Nice. I can't wait to not go to Antarctica for what kind of creature is that. But is your kaiju cooler than Giant Starro? I mean, I think so.
I mean, Starro is pretty cool. He's a hard one to top, but they're a lot meaner looking. I'll say that. They're not nearly as cute as he is.
Dang, I actually thought the bear was super cute. I'm like, it's a bear and he has antlers. He's so cute.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So,
It's
maybe.
True. All right. So, of course, 4 is right after 3. We know good math over here. Yes. All right. So, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay, so here we have boom, 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 boom. Oh, we got 2 new variant catch-up tiers.
Yeah,
Nice.
so these we actually just added recently, and one thing that we just kind of realized is each issue has had 4 total covers, so sort of the main cover and then 3 variants, and we realized that we didn't really have a great way for people to get some of the older variants in this campaign, and we've been really lucky to work with a lot of amazing artists, and they've created a lot of really amazing variant covers for all 4 issues, and so we wanted to make sure that people have access to all of those amazing covers. And so that way with our new ones, you can, if you just want to catch up, but you like one of the new issue 4 variant covers, you can just get sort of the standard covers for the first 3 and pick your variant. Or you can get a new tier, which is just basically you pick your favorite cover for each of the issues and just get that.
Yes. All right, and we got stretch goals. Oh, I love bookmarks.
Yeah.
And keychains. Oh, I want this keychain.
Yeah, so we want to, with the stretch goals, we want to include both physical and digital rewards because we have a lot of physical and digital backers. So, you saw the physical rewards there, and also we'll be unlocking more sort of behind the scenes digital content, as far as like script pages, progress art, like pencils, lines, stuff like that. So the more stretch goals we unlock, the more behind the scenes you'll get to see.
And we got some quotes. Oh, I love Kat. I love her stories and stuff. Hard Justice. I gotta check that one out. Spider Squirrel and Trash Panda.
Yeah, I mean, we're really lucky, and the Kickstarter community in general is so awesome, and it's been so supportive. This is my first real creative project of any kind. I came in when I did the first issue, I didn't have any kind of audience or connections or anything. I was just jumping into this blind and kind of figuring it out. And the community has been so helpful on, teaching and supporting, a newer creator, helping me get things out there, answering questions, stuff like that. Like you said, Kat is amazing. She helped with one of the earlier campaigns, and all of her work's awesome. And then, Wesley, he's a little bit newer one, but he's put out some great stuff. And Charlie's another, he's got a ton of really successful campaigns out there, and he's a really good resource for new creators. And just the encouragement and the support from everybody has been awesome.
If you hear any sneezing, it's my mom in the background.
I got you. I got 2 little kids, so I'm sure there'll be some chaos going on this one too.
Yeah, we love and invite the chaos. We got some swag and early birds, which I don't know. I'm pretty sure those are out by now.
Yes, yeah, we did have some early bird rewards. Always do those the first couple days of the campaign. You know, it's a great way to get the campaign off to a good start, and it rewards people who have been following it, have supported us before. That gives them a chance to sort of get in. But we've also, we also just added those other new tiers. We're always trying to find ways to get people the best options, however we can best get territory to you. We want to do it. So.
Oh, dang, I didn't get the bookmarks. Dang it, I'm going to have to change my pledge. So now we got the covers. Oh.
Yeah, so
is this that snake creature?
Yeah, yep. So that's sort of the model Ishiki in the background. And so this is the standard cover, the cover A for this issue. And so one thing that is new and kind of exciting about this issue, the first 3 issues, the artist was Chris Sassman, based out of South Africa, and he was awesome. He's a really, really talented artist, especially because this was his first real project also. And so to see the level of work he's able to put out already is incredible. Unfortunately, he wasn't going to be able to continue working on the book. And so we have a new artist, Donnie Hadiwajaja, who's joined us for this one. And he did a great job of sort of keeping the feel of the world and the feel of the book the same, but also putting his own spin on it. So, it still definitely feels like territory, but it will look a little different. This cover is by Chris, the original artist. He's done the standard covers for all 4 issues. And so with the standard covers, it's always sort of the most story based. So if you've read the first 3 issues, you'll probably be able to tell a lot from this cover, sort of what's going on. And it's going to kind of tease what's going to happen in this issue.
Nice. And I have all the standard covers too. Oh, and this one's so glowy.
Yes, and so this one, the one variant artist that we've had for every issue is Martha Womersley, and it's because she does these really crazy cool neon covers. So, the first 3 were just were the 3 different kaiju that we've had so far, and then this one includes Alkia, the main character there. But she just has such a unique art style and a unique color palette, that this crazy neon that just really, really sticks out. And I think really adds another element. We've definitely, everyone, it's always from the first campaign, it's been one of our more popular ones. I get a lot of comments on people just loving how crazy and colorful these covers are. And so I told her, as long as she wants to come back and keep doing them, we'll keep having her back. And she crushed it with this one, knocked it out of the park.
Nice, I agree. Reese, a little late, but absolutely here. Hello, Bianca, guest, and everybody else. Pawn Star, that's a new one, Albus. And I missed Robert. Hello, Robert. Not sure if you're still here, but hello. Sorry, I'm late. You already said hi. There's a guy here with like multiple Outlook accounts, so he's like, "Sorry, I forgot," and I'm like, "No, you've been here. I see you." Oh, this is a good cover too.
Yeah, so this one is by Laura Helsby, and they are they're amazing. So I've seen their work on a lot of previous campaigns, other people's Kickstarters, and they just always caught my eye. And so I reached out to them, and it's cool because I feel like this is a really sort of good foil to that colorful neon one. The colorful one is really bright and kind of crazy and kind of fun. But the other side of this book is there is sort of that gritty human element, with the sort of dangers and pitfalls of faith. And I feel like this cover really kind of covers that element of the book. You get that, sort of zealous but ominous sort of feeling from that. And then they always add such great details, and it really turned out awesome.
Ooh. Fire.
Yes. And so this one is by Donnie Hadiwajaja, who is the new interior artist for the book as well. And this is also colored by Ichsan Ansori, who has been our colorist throughout. He will be coloring it again. He colored the first 3 issues. So talking to Donnie, I kind of told him, I want to do sort of a new world of territory idea with you, since you're kind of joining us, and it'll be a new artist, a new world, and the characters are entering this new world based on what happened in the last issue. And I thought he really captured that perfectly with this, because with this you get, there's something coming and they're not really sure what yet, but you get this ominous, very, viscerally dangerous looking cover, but it also doesn't quite give everything away, and it kind of makes you want to know more. And I felt like it really showcases Alkia, the main character, really well, while also capturing sort of the theme and what she's going through in the story.
Oh yes, I'm pretty sure she's like in issue 3. I was like, oh gosh, how is she gonna be? And she's like, no, we must pray for this great thing that's happened, and prayer around his like funeral, like Ariel. And I'm like, wow, she's still going strong.
Yes, and that's been really fun to write, is to try to think about, a character with that sort of viewpoint. Like, how would they, if they were challenged, but they were still so loyal, still so firm in what they were believing, how would they continue to persist with that? How would they justify it? And so just really trying to incorporate that into her character.
Hmm. I'm surprised the prophet still got away with this, to be honest. I
But
was
it's
like, yo, everybody's gonna go against him, and I'm like, no, it was just one guy, and he got beat to a pulp.
Well, and it's amazing because, the thing is, like, we've seen that happen sort of historically, right? Like, there's been
Yeah.
these people that have, used, faith or power as, they basically weaponize it for their own good. They use it to sort of control others. And, even when something happens that, you would look at it from the outside and be like, yeah, it's obviously, not what they're telling you. They're lying to you. They're using you. But still, once people are sort of locked into that mindset and following somebody, and they've been taught to believe a certain thing and haven't had a chance to look outside of that, we see them follow these sort of leaders regardless of, how it's all self-interest or anything like that. And he's really representative of that sort of element of humanity.
And I love him.
Love to hate him.
Exactly. Hey, random. Oh, you made it. Hello, welcome. And I actually like relate to this a lot because I am a Christian, but I know there's like people trying to use that to get like money and crap. And I'm like, you guys don't see this? You're not going to question it. Are we going to think about it though?
Totally. Well, and that's my, I've told people, this isn't an anti-religious book. I'm not trying to say that religion is bad or anything like that. The point of it is, like you said, it's dangerous when people tell you what to think or what not to think. If someone is trying to tell you to believe a certain thing and they're using that belief, that's dangerous. Belief is a personal thing. That's a good thing. Religion, from that aspect is very good, but it also opens up avenues to be abused and to be, used in a dangerous way. And this is looking at that element of it.
Always, I gotta fear some sort of indoctrination of some
Yes,
kind.
exactly.
Oh, I'm so sad that these are smaller than I thought. But I love these.
Yeah, and so we just wanted to make sure that everyone, and the just gives a visual, like you said. It's not, they're not as big as the newer covers, but this way, if you are curious about what some of the previous variants are and you haven't seen some of the earlier campaigns, this will, at least give you an idea. If you go back to the other previous campaigns, then there's the bigger versions there, but this at least gives people kind of an idea if they see something that really catches their eye, of what they could be getting.
Awesome. Now we got the issue 2 variant covers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these are really nice too.
Yeah, so that top left one, the sort of crab monster, that's the Martha Womersley one, the neon one, that we've had kind of every time. Jeff Zornow did the one on the top right. He's done some Godzilla books for like IDW and some of the bigger publishers, and I've just always I had his comics before I started writing this one, so it was really cool to be able to have someone whose art I had been reading, and then to get their take on this world. And the bottom one was, obviously Kaiju, heavily influenced by, Japanese media. And so we wanted sort of a manga type cover, to capture that feel of it.
Nice. Godzilla. Now we got issue 3 variant covers.
Yes, and so again, there's we got the neon one. That other top right one is a reference to the Marvel Godzilla comic that came out in like the 70s, I think. It's so just an homage, replacing Godzilla with the Great Horn, sort of the kaiju of this book, and going for sort of a retro feel. And then the bottom one is also by Chris Sassman, and the original cover for this issue focused on the kaiju battle, and then this again sort of focuses more on the human element, with the kaiju sort of looming as the threat in the background.
I got the standard cover for issue 3 because it had the bear kaiju on it.
Yes, yeah, that was definitely the most action packed of the cover of the standard covers, because we realized we hadn't really done one that just focused purely on the kaiju yet, and we're like, well, we need to do that. That's one of the biggest parts of the book. So
Yeah, I would have gotten the one on the left if there wasn't the bear one. And I'm like, no, I need the animal. Oh, we got the previews. I looked at this and I'm like, oh my gosh. Their faces are funny and I love it.
yeah, so it's this is for those, like I said, this is sort of the human conflict is really starts to ramp up from this point on in the story. And this issue just jumps right into that. You have the two tribes kind of looking at each other, sizing each other up. And then and then after that, it starts to go into, sort of this warfare between them. They believe different things. They follow these different kaiju. And, because they follow the different kaiju, some of them, that's reason enough to go to war, basically. And so that's definitely going to be a theme of the story from here on out is, people with differing beliefs, how do they treat each other? And, unfortunately, again, historically, it's not well. So that's kind of what we're looking at here.
Humanity never fails to be terrible in some sort of shape.
Unfortunately. And yeah, and definitely. So this is, like I said, this is our new artist, Donnie Hadiwajaja, and it's cool because it, like I said, it really feels to me like the first 3 issues. The world feels the same, so it's not like a jarring shock changing the artist. But he definitely has sort of a different, almost more fluid type of art, I guess you could say, and the motion and just the way the characters move and stuff, like it does sort of, it really enhances sort of the action and the, the brutality of some of these characters. Like some of these guys, they just look so massive and intimidating and almost like non-human, disfigured in some sort of ways. And that just adds to sort of how, again, people who believe differently, who look differently, who, encountering someone new for the first time, a lot of times it's, there's that misunderstanding. They look different. And so it's hard to find that common ground.
Nice. And now my dog's making a mess. Thanks, man. Dang, I forgot what my question was going to be. Dang it, Snowflake. Now she's just looking at me like, what did I do? And I'm like, you made me forget my question. All right. So we got rewards. We got $8 for a digital PDF download. That is really good monies right there. And then we have $10 for just a standard physical. That's a beautiful cover. So beautiful. And then if you want to catch up, there's a $15 digital catch-up tier for issues 1 through 4. Usually it's like 1 through 3, but the 4 is for this one, so you get that one too for 15. And then we have the $18 choose one variant cover, B, C, or D.
Yep. So those covers we just looked at.
Yes. And then we have the art collector bundle. $20. So it's issue 4, PDFs 1 through 4, a card bundle, sticker bundle, neon mini print bundle, and a neon bookmark bundle. Wow, so much goodies.
Yeah. So, like I said, one thing that, we just got a lot of positive feedback on all of the three first campaigns was that, the crazy kind of neon covers. And so people really enjoyed that art. And so we wanted to give them more ways to get it instead of just the cover this time. And so you can get the prints, you can get these bookmarks, which are, really cool. It's got all the different colored logos and stuff. And then the collector cards were fun because, anytime you have like kaiju or just fun characters, it's cool to be able to get the cards of them.
It's true, gotta catch them all.
Yes.
And then for an extra $5 more, we got cover A with a choice of a variant of B, C, or D, and then PDFs 1 through 4. And then we have a physical catch up of $30, 1 through 4, and cover A. And it's also PDFs 1 through 4 as well. I feel like I just said that weird. All right, so physical, $30. Cover A only. Physicals 1 through 4, PDFs 1 through 4 is included. And then a 33 variant catch up for physicals 1 through 3, also cover A. And then, of course, a physical cover of your choice for number 4 of a variant. And then PDFs 1 through 4. Oh, we got hollow foil cover C's for $35. And then variant bundle, which is physical covers of B, C, and D of issue 4, but you will get PDFs of 1 through 4. And then we have two $45 cover bundles. So we have issue 4 cover bundle for $45. It's going to be PDFs 1 through 4, physical covers A, B, C, and D of issue 4. And then we have another one, which is the variant version, which is, physical cover of your choice for issues 1 through 4 as well. $50 backlight glow metal. That was such a weird sentence to say. What is a backlight metal cover?
So this one, it'll be a metal cover, kind of a foil cover similar to the other one, but this one will actually glow in the dark. Or excuse me, not in the dark. It'll glow under a black light. So, just like the crazy neon posters and stuff. So this one, the neon cover will sort of glow under the black light, and it comes out just, it really makes it even crazier, makes it pop even more.
Now I know what black light means and what's considered actual glow in the dark. Oh, the temptation's killing me. And then we have $55 all neon covers. So the physical B covers of issues 1 through 4 with a neon mini print bundle and a neon bookmark bundle. Then we have a $75 tribe member bundle. I can say words. Or the behemoth bundle. Ha! Physical cover A, B, C, and D for issue 4. And then, of course, physical cover A for 1 through 3. We got a card bundle, the sticker bundle, the mini print bundle, bookmarks, PDFs 1 through 4, and of course, signatures available on all books with this member bundle. I said that in one go. I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely our higher end tiers. We try to give, pretty much everything. So.
Oh, I see we have a couple of questions. Gotta catch them all. Boop. How many pages of each comic?
So each issue is 22 pages. So,
exactly?
Yep. So it's
insane.
Yeah. The 5th issue is probably going to be a little bit bigger because it'll be sort of the big finale. But the first 4 are 22 pages each.
Nice. Of course, Albus, I have some people who are international. So usually a lot of international people will get the PDFs versions due to the insane shipping costs.
Totally. And it's, I wish that there was a better answer. It's actually, because looking at it, it's about $25-ish usually for me to ship anywhere outside of the US. I put the international shipping at $20 just to hopefully make it a little bit more affordable, but I totally understand that's, a lot of times you're paying as much or more in shipping than you are for whatever the reward is. So, that's why we offer digital rewards and really try to take care of our digital backers too, because I know, unfortunately, physical is just not always a realistic option for people. So we definitely try to make sure our digital rewards are equal quality.
Nice. I remember getting something international, and it was like 40 to 50 bucks, and it was literally just chocolate from Ghana, Africa. And I said, well, the money's going to them this time, 100%, and not like the 10% or the 1% they're promised from the US but don't get,
Right.
apparently. It was the best chocolate I've ever had, to be honest.
So hopefully it was worth it at least.
All right, and then we got the $100 drawn into final issue. Oh, nice! Drawn into the final issue of Territory, physical ABCD, issue 4, sticker bundle, card bundle, neon mini print bundle, neon bookmark bundle, PDFs 1 through 4, signature on all books. How much issues were you planning for this comic, by the way?
So issue 5 will be the final issue. So it's a 5 issue.
No!
Yep. So yeah, so this is the second to last issue, and like I said, well, issue 5 is going to be 32 pages, so it'll be 10 pages more than the other ones, just to because we've got some big plans for it. But yeah, this it really, the story really just kind of is full on from here, and everything happens real fast. We pack a lot of action into these last couple issues. So.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm gonna be so sad.
It is sad, but when I created this story, it was something that I knew I wanted to. I had a definitive beginning and end. It wasn't going to be a continuing series or anything like that. And so it'll be nice to be able to tell the whole story and know that we didn't leave anything out. We're telling the whole story. We're telling everything we wanted to tell, and by the end of it, it'll be a definitive end.
Nice. I can't wait. But I also don't want to wait. But I want to wait so he doesn't end soon. I'm conflicted. No.
Totally. It's always hard when something you love ends, but it's better than it dragging on too long. There's always at least we got the good ending. So
that's true. I will agree with that. One Piece. I don't even watch One Piece, by the way. I'm just saying what everybody else is thinking. And then we got the $250 Behemoth bundle. Everything in the campaign. Physical covers of A, B, C, and D for every single issue. 2 of the foil covers for issue 2, which is the C and D. Foil cover for issue 4. The glow in the dark of issue 4. The card bundle. All stickers, 3 symbols plus the territory logo. All mini prints, 3 neon kaijus plus issue 3 battle. All bookmarks, which is the 3 neon logos, the symbols, and issue 2. Great horn pin, which is one of the kaijus, who's like the bear with the antlers. A wooden pendant. All art cards. Alkia, which is the main girl. Nebu. Nebu is his name, right?
Yeah, Nebo,
which is the guy who's also the main character, and I kind of like him. He's the one who's like kind of like doubting everything. And he's like, but is there really a whole thing? Like, should we listen to the prophet? Is there really why do we think of these as gods? Like, what's going on? And then, of course, the Great Horn. And then, of course, drawn into the final issue of Territory. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty much literally everything we've produced for every campaign. We just wanted to put it all together. So if you were like, I just want all of it, there you go. That's your answer.
Nice. Everything for everybody. And then we got some add-ons. We got a $4 neon bookmark bundle for bookmarks, the kaiju. 3 neon kaijus plus tribal symbols. $2 single bookmark, $5 card bundle, $5 collector cards. Not $5, but just 5. Each kaiju plus Alkia and Nebo. We got $2 single card, $4 sticker bundle, which is 3 tribal symbols and the territory logo. We got $2 single stickers, $4 neon mini print bundle, which is the 4 mini prints, 4 neon covers. $2 single mini print, which is a $10 issues, 1 cover A, $15 issue, 1 cover B, C, or D, $10 issue 2 cover A, $15 issue 2 cover B, C, or D, And then $10 issue 3, cover A. Hey, that guy looks familiar. Who is this guy? What's going on?
Yeah, so that's, and with the, just to go back to the add-ons for a second, that's something that the Kickstarter added in the past couple years. It wasn't there for the first campaign at least, but it's been one of the best things, because that way, you know, instead of having to try to make every tier for every person, if you're like, oh, I just missed out on one issue, or oh, I, you know, just really like those cards or whatever, that way you can just add that without having to buy, you know, a whole tier or anything like that. So definitely tried to just put as much as we could on there so that people can pick and choose what they want to get.
Nice. Oh, bye, Elvis. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, everybody buying the 250 bundle will need an entire shelf just for all of that. You gotta believe, man. I can't fit all of this into my one shelf. You got to.
Well, that was the idea. Is it's just, you know, there are some people that just say, I want everything, and we just wanted to, if that way, if somebody wants everything territory, they can do it. But yes, it's a lot. I've got a lot of space taken up in my storage room in my basement dedicated to territory now.
Nice. Best way. Yep, got the PDFs. Believe me, if you ship to India, it's going to cost more than $25. OMG.
Yes, unfortunately, you know, I really hope that at some point international shipping becomes reasonable, because it would benefit so many people in so many ways, but just not there yet.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, you didn't send me the Twitter link, but I added the Twitter. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Twitter is probably the best way to follow me, because that's where I post the most, and you'll get the latest, most up-to-date information. So
it's honestly true. No matter how many social medias I got, it's always Twitter, the one that's updating the most.
I mean, it's the easiest to just put something out. You know, everything else, it seems like there's a couple steps you got to go through. Twitter, for all its faults, it is easy to just say, hey, this is what's going on.
Unfortunately.
Yes. I wish there was a better way.
And we got Donnie Hadiwijaja.
Yep. And so he's this is his first issue of Territory. He's done some other Kickstarter books. He worked on a Vampirella book for Dynamite, so he's definitely a very accomplished artist. I'd actually backed it was Punchline and the Vaudeville Villains was one of his previous books that he'd worked on, and I had backed that a couple years ago. And he has actually worked with Ichsan, our colorist. So that's been really nice too. He was a really seamless transition, one, stylistically, but two, because he'd worked with Ichsan, he was able to come in and, you know, already integrate into the team, already be familiar with some of the people. And so I think that really helps the book feel consistent. You know, a lot of times when you change artists, you get sort of that like shock between issues of like, wait a minute, this is different. I don't think you really get that with him, because, you know, while he does have his own style, he did a really good job of capturing the feel and the world that we had already built.
Nice. And everybody here is like complimenting the art. So kudos to the artists.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
I like how everybody's black and white. We got Ichsan. Oh, from Indonesia. Nice.
Yes.
I love the colors, by the way.
Both he and Donnie are from Indonesia. And agreed, Ichsan, I think that's a big part of why it all feels so consistent is his colors. Just, you know, the color does so much to build the atmosphere of a comic. And so having him, you know, staying on all these issues has really kept sort of the atmosphere in the world feeling the same.
Nice. We got Marco Della Verde.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That seems green.
Yeah, he's from Italy. He's definitely the veteran of the group. He's been working on comics for like 20 plus years. And then he's done some lettering for pretty much everybody, DC, IDW, Image, you know, so he was a great reference, especially as newer creators with a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, you know, a lot of the technical aspects and actually how to get the book made, you know, other than just, hey, let's draw something cool. He's like, well, here's all these other things you need to do too. So he's been amazing.
Nice. The feedback, we love it. And heavy metal too. Nice. We have a few people here who are like, heavy metal, let's go.
Yeah,
And
heavy
it's
metals.
oh, dang, hers is long.
Yeah, I mean she is amazing. If you talk to very many Kickstarter creators, you'll probably hear her name multiple times. She's just done a lot on a lot of books. And my one regret with Territory is I actually didn't have an editor for issue 1, and I really wish I could go back in time and tell myself to hire Nicole for issue 1, because what she's been able to do as far as streamlining the book, making sure that the story is consistent, the plot flows, there's no, holes or loops or anything going on, as well as, keeping characters consistent, things like that. She is an incredible editor, and this was originally going to be a 6-issue series, but she helps you realize that while there's a lot of stuff that sounds really cool in your head, it comes out as just sort of, jumbled if you try to include everything in the book. And she's done a really good job of streamlining it so that every issue is just, action packed and flows and hopefully keeps you wanting to turn to the next page.
I was actually going to ask about the editor stuff too. For your first issue, it wasn't that bad. I was like, wow. I'm like, where's editor? I'm like, no editor. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good for your first time.
Well, I've
read comics from people who do not have editors at all, and it's always maybe a 75-25. 75 meaning that they're the ones that do need one, and the 25 is like, all right, nice.
Well, I appreciate that, but like I said, I think the first issue turned out pretty well. I was happy with it, but if I could go back and have her look at it and, have had her there from the start, 100% would, no questions asked.
Would you re-release issue 1 and have her edit it if you given a chance?
Yes, and that's something I've thought about. So I'm, this being my first comic series, it's been a learning experience for me the whole time. Every issue, every campaign is learning something new. And, so I definitely think, depending on where Territory goes and, what kind of is next for it, if we get a chance to sort of, bring it to a bigger platform, I would definitely want her to sort of come back, just because, again, she's so talented, and, what she did, like the script that I read that I sent her for issue 2, and then when it came back from her after she'd looked at it, it's so much better. And so I would love to have her, from the jump, so that the whole world has, kind of has her touch to it. And I think it would just flow and keep everything at a really high level.
Wait, she did some of Miraculous Ladybug, the Tales of Ladybug and Chat Noir? What?
I mean, she is incredibly talented. I cannot recommend Nicole enough. I can't say enough about what she's done for Territory. And I definitely think, I am proud of Territory. I feel like it has a very professional feel for an indie book, and a lot of that is due to Nicole and her editing. So
yes, I will say that there is a mistake on issue 2. That's because I read issue 2 today, so it's still fresh in my mind. Unless there's a comma missing. It's one of those.
I got you.
When Glant, when he's kind of like reassuring his mother that, he's like, I'm fine, we'll just wait. That's when Nebu, one of those. I forgot already.
No, you're good.
Nebo. So when he starts taking him in and he starts getting frustrated, he says, she's right, Gland, you need to save your energy. That remedy is your only chance. And since there won't be a batch available soon, you'll need all the rest you can get. And so I said, there won't be. I'm like, is that on purpose? And it was just missing a comma. To like further feel like there won't be, or was that just supposed to be just one won't be and we just missed that?
Yeah, to be honest, I'd have to kind of go relook at the script and see, but yeah, it might have just been something where it was meant to be said with emphasis and just kind of came across awkwardly on the page.
Which happens sometimes, but other than that was honestly the only problems I ever saw during issues 1 through 3, and I'm like, dang, this is good. Why is this good?
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's, and I think it's having a whole team and having some experienced people and stuff. It really does help, especially with some of us being newer, having some of those experienced people who really, really understand what they're looking for, and not just, they're not just excited to make something, but they really want to make it good and make it professional. Having them on board has helped a lot.
Nice. And I didn't think there would be more if I scrolled more. Joey, PR, marketing, campaign manager, designer. Nice. I love
Yeah.
his face.
Yes. He is all enthusiasm, as you can see with his picture. And so Joey, this is the first time that we've used him, or a marketing manager, a campaign manager for the campaign. And like I said, that's just something, as gone through campaign to campaign, trying to think of ways to help territory grow, to bring in more people, and to make sure that what we're, the product we're putting out is as high quality as it can be. And Joey has really helped. He was the one that kind of had the idea of like really emphasizing the neon in this campaign, and coming up with so many different reward tiers and everything. And so I definitely think this campaign is something that sticks out on Kickstarter, and a lot of that is due to his ability to look at what we have and to highlight some of the most exciting parts of it. And Geek Collective is his company, his sort of network that is there to help creators find and put out their books.
Oh, nice. I'm going to have to save that for future stuff. I do have like some indie people who contact me and be like, which one do you think is like good with that stuff? And I'm like, well, now I have one.
Yeah, it's been, like I said, this is the first time we've worked with him, but it's been a really, I highly recommend him. It's been awesome. He's been super responsive, and he's very, like, he's excited about the book too. He's not just like, okay, tell me what you want and I'll do it. He's like, hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? So that's really cool to see.
And then one tree will be planted. We planted trees.
Yes. So I'm a conservationist. There's a very sort of conservation sort of a theme, a message in territory as well. And we wanted to, put our money where our mouth is, so to speak. And so for each physical backer, each package we ship, we'll make a $1 donation to One Tree Planted. Their thing is every dollar they get plants a tree. So that way, we'll hopefully offset the carbon costs of making and shipping all these books at least a little bit. And, putting more trees in the world is never a bad thing.
Of course, we need that oxygen. All right, we got risk and challenges. Territory number 4 is brought to you by comic creators that have successfully achieved and delivered on multiple crowdfunding projects. We're committed to delivering the best experience to you, the backers, and are investing the best of the best shipping materials. We will be handling fulfillment 100% in-house. Communication is key, so we will address every question personally and timely. If you have a question or any problems during the fulfillment of this project, don't hesitate to notify us and we will correct ASAP. Raymond, you are late. You are canceled and banned. My goodness. And I did ask if in the chat if there was any questions. I went all the way up. Boop, 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 boop. I gotta find the question. Oh gosh, I went all the way up by accident. Oh, okay. There we go. Question, what is your view regarding AI art in writing?
I am not a fan of it, especially working with all these different creative people. There's the time and effort that people put into, working on their art, and that you get that human element of it. And with AI and stuff, I realize that there are steps you have to take and everything, but it's different than somebody creating something, looking at it, because that's when you're creating something, when you're working on it, seeing it develop, putting in little changes, little things as it's coming along. That's just not something that can be replicated. And so I think losing that human element, it's never going to be the same as human created work. So I will, we will never have any AI art or writing with any of my projects, and I don't support any of it. I don't, buy any AI writing or art or anything like that.
And then here we have another question. How long did it take you to get all this going?
Yeah, so I had this story just kind of bouncing around in my head for probably a couple years before I really decided to kind of pursue it. And then, so it's been the first campaign launched back in 2021, I believe. So it's been about 3 years that to get to this issue. And it was definitely something that I recommend putting in a lot of research and time before you jump into it, because that was what I did. I read a lot of different comic scripts by a lot of different people to see what kind of scripts I liked, and really tried to learn about storytelling as well. And then by it I wrote I wrote all of the issues before I even reached out to an artist or anything. And then once we reached out to Chris, it was probably about 6 months before, from talking to him initially and having, and that's with the scripts already written, to being able to put the campaign out. And so we had the book fully created by the time we created our first campaign, because I just wanted to make sure that we would be able to deliver on what we were promising people. But I mean, it was a couple years of story development and research, and then probably at least another 6 to 9 months just to get that first one out. And it's gotten a little faster since then, as kind of learned about the process, but it's still, each campaign, each book is still at least, probably 6 to 9 months between, editing the script to the art to the campaign to fulfillment to all of that.
All right. And we got more questions. How did you come up with the goal amount? Always a fantastic question to ask.
Definitely. So it's based on, so this is the first campaign that we won't have the book completely done. By the time the campaign launched, we've already got it about half done. I've got a bunch of the pages and everything. And so it's just based on, because, I try to pay all of the artists, what they ask. I don't really, try to negotiate or get a lower price, because, their talent and their time is worth, they know what it's worth to them. And so I try to make sure that they are all compensated, in a way that they feel is fair to them. And so it's based on the salaries, and then, the production and shipping is unfortunately just another necessary cost. So to be honest, I haven't actually made money on any of the territory Kickstarters so far, but I'm doing it in a way that's financially viable for me. And so this is sort of that point where it's financially viable for me. I can pay the artists, a fair amount, and make sure that we have the money to print and ship everything. And it's not one of those situations where, I'm having to tell backers, oh, just hold on. I know if we hit this goal, we'll be able to produce everything and we'll be able to send it out.
Awesome. We will get that money soon, though. Sucks a majority of it goes to paying other people and then also going into your next comic book. But we want people to have a livable wage and all that stuff, and all these days and ages, and that includes crowdfunding.
Oh, 100%. And that's like, it doesn't, with this goal, because to me, this was never something that, unfortunately, I'll tell you this: if you want to make money, don't start making comics. I think there are people that can do it in the industry, but it's an industry where there's so much work that goes into it, compared to how much money you get back out of it. And so you're never going to make much or a lot of money doing it. And that was fine for me. This is a passion. This is just something I want to do. This isn't my job. This isn't something I'm reliant on. So being able to do it and just be financially viable is all I ask. And that's what's great about Kickstarter, is you can make those decisions and you can build it for yourself. And so, I appreciate all of the backers. I appreciate all of the support, because it just makes it so that we can keep telling these stories. And that's, this is just purely because this is a passion for me. This is something I want to do. And, and the artists, they're passionate, but then they, like you said, they also need the livable wage. So it's the best situation for everybody.
And then Reese says, what made you go with Kickstarter? What made you toy? He's like an Indiegogo guy.
So Kickstarter, when I was first looking at doing it, Kickstarter was just sort of the biggest platform. And it was something that when I was starting to really research how to do this, and I was trying to find people to kind of reach out to that had, independent creators who had worked on books, the people in the Kickstarter community were just extremely helpful, extremely friendly. They really taught me a lot. And so I just kind of feel like I became a part of that community really quickly. And so, I started backing books on Kickstarter, started getting to know some of the creators, started asking them questions. And so everything, when I was just sort of learning how to do this, it was all, from people who had primarily used Kickstarter and just part of that community. And so it was sort of just the most natural fit.
Nice. Oh, another question. So, keeping that in mind, why not keep it a bit more? I actually don't understand. What are we keeping?
I think they're asking why not set the goal a little bit higher, and it's just because realistically, I've also, I try. We just want to be realistic about getting the book funded. Obviously, I'd love to have a higher amount, but at the same time, I don't think, this is, kaiju are awesome, but it is kind of a niche thing. There's only, so big an audience, and there's only so big an audience on Kickstarter. And so, this is based on the previous campaigns. This is, pretty much where our audience is at. And so I just wanted to again, be realistic about the funding, because the most important thing to me is just that it gets made and that we can continue to do it. And this is a goal that allows us to do that and is also very attainable.
My gosh, like comic books are already considered like a niche, and then you got kaiju comics, which is more niche. What the heck, man?
Yeah. So, and the thing is, I love Kickstarter because it allows you to do niche things. You're not relying on, having to sell it to somebody who's saying, yeah, we're not going to be able to sell this to, however many comic shops. You can just say, hey, there's this amount of audience. They like this stuff, and we're making it for them. And then, you hope to grow and expand your audience, and we have, but that way you at least know you can kind of find your core audience and make stuff for them.
Exactly. All right, for new people in the chat, before we head out, I'm going to have Blake over here do a little summary again about what story we're getting into.
So this is about Territory, which is a post-apocalyptic kaiju epic where people worship the kaiju as gods. Basically, the story is in the far distant future. There's been some sort of apocalyptic event, and these behemoths, these kaiju, have sort of risen up as the new gods of this world. And the remaining people that survive live in tribes and worship the kaiju as their gods. And Territory is the story of one of those people and her tribe as she not only navigates, encountering her god, but encountering other gods as well. It's a story about, challenging your beliefs, what happens when beliefs and faith are challenged, what happens when people of different faiths interact with each other. And it's also got lots of fun kaiju action. So,
yes. And comics don't get enough love. And that's why we're here to give it. It is so true, TJ. So
yes.
true.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting, for listening, just everything, because it is totally something that, it's all up to the community. It's all up to the fans and the people who enjoy it. So thank you, everybody, just for listening, for asking questions, because the passion, just hearing, talking to people about the book as a creator, that's the most rewarding experience, is knowing that, people are caring about what you're doing. They're interested in it. They enjoy it. So I just thank you all so much for delivering that.
Yes, it is an incredibly cool concept. Oh my gosh, the chat stopped moving. I'm clicking on the wrong stuff. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. He said kaiju action. Yes, can't stop drilling. He struck oil. We have a few people here who love kaiju, so I was like, yeah, I need to get you on.
Totally. Well, and like I said, that's where I was. I was like, I just want to make a kaiju book, and this is sort of where it went. So, I feel you, all you kaiju fans out there, because that's the exact place this is coming from.
Exactly. If you want to look for him, all the links are in the description, including the Kickstarter. If some of you are not sure if you would like to back this book, we do, or more like he does. Sorry, not me. He does have a global comics. He has issues 1 through 3 on globalcomics.com, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you already know, to read like maybe an issue or two, or if you feel like just reading issue 1 and you don't want to get spoiled on the rest and you want to get the rest, then you can go straight to the Kickstarter. All of it in the description. If you want to follow him, I put in his Instagram and his Twitter, but he is more lively on Twitter. Definitely.
Yes. Yes, and and Global Comics is a great way if you're just curious. Definitely a fun way to just check it out and see what it's like.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you for stopping by. For anybody who was late, loser. I'm just kidding. You can be able to rewatch and have a great time. This was great. Kaiju stuff. We love it. All right, guys. Have a nice evening or morning, wherever you are.
Yes, thank you for having me on, and thank you everybody for coming by. Like I said, I appreciate all the support, and I hope you all enjoy it.
Yes. Bye. Toodles poodles. Hee 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 hee.